Good evening, everyone. This is Carlos Andres Patiño, and right now we have the speaking session number 12 of the course Intermediate English 2. I'm here with Felix and Viviana. So, Viviana, hello, how are you?
Hello, teacher and Felix. I'm a little tired, but general, I'm so good. Thank you.
Okay, very nice to see you again. Very nice to hear you again. Yeah, we probably all are tired. We've been working hard in our jobs, but it's very nice to see you again, Viviana. And Felix, hello, how are you? How are you doing?
Good evening, teacher. Good evening, Viviana. How are you? I am fine.
I'm fine too, Felix. Thanks for asking. So, guys, let's start right now. I'm going to share my screen with you. Give me 1 second. So, Viviana, did you see the screen?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, perfect. So this is the topic we are going to approach today. Some classes before, like 1 week ago or two, we learned about about the zero and the first conditional. Okay, today we are going to approach the conditional sentences again, and we are going to be focused on conditional two. Okay, it is basically the same. The structure is very similar. There are a lot of things that are very similar about how you make conditional sentences, about the conditional clause or the if clause, and then the consequence clause. And for example, the fact that for example, you can switch or you can flip. So the if clause could be either the first one or the second part of the sentence. So that is the same. But conditional 0, 1, and 2 have different usages. Okay, we use them for different things. So we are going to learn that today. Okay, but first, we are going to approach the warm-up. It is going to be a very easy warm-up. So you can see now 5 pictures, A, B, C, and D. And this is what is going to happen. I'm going to say a riddle. Okay, I'm going to say a riddle for you. You have to listen carefully, you have to pay attention, and you have to give me the answer. You have to tell me if it is picture A, B, C, D, or E. The answer of the riddle. Give me 1 second. Okay, let's start. So, for example, Felix, I'm going to start with you. This is the first riddle, and you're going to tell me the answer according to the pictures. So the first riddle is this one. I have keys, but I don't open a door. You can use me for files, info, games, and more. What's the answer, Felix?
Teacher, please repeat again because
Sure,
I
sure.
don't hear you.
Okay, sorry. So again, this is the riddle. I have keys, but I don't open a door. You can use me for files, information, games, and more.
Okay, the answer is B.
The answer is picture B. Very good. So, Felix, one question. What room is that inside a school? How do you say that in
Uh,
English?
is an antique or informatic classroom.
Again, please.
Uh, I think it's a TIC or informatic classroom. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, ICT or informatic classroom. I don't know.
Okay, it's fine, don't worry. But in United States, they call it computer class. Okay? And the room is the computer classroom, and the partners are the computer partners, okay? Or the computer classmates. So everything is about computer. They don't use the word informatic or TICs, okay? So in this opportunity, the place is a computer classroom, okay?
Okay, teacher.
Let's go on. Viviana, this riddle goes for you. It says, the next clue can be found on the box with a musical sound. What's the answer?
Maybe it's in C.
Very good. Letter C, picture C. How do you say that in English? About the room, about the place. How do you call it in English?
The music room.
Very good. That is a music room. Correct. Let's go on, Felix, the next one. Okay,
Gema,
tell me.
teacher Gema en clase.
Okay, thank you. Emma, hello, how are you?
Hello, tutor. I'm fine. Thanks for asking. Asking you.
So very nice to hear you again, Hema. We are just warming up. Okay, we are just getting started. We are just warming up. So Hema, this is going to be for you. So we have some riddles, okay? The first riddle was about the picture B. The second riddle was about picture C. So I'm going to say a riddle. You just have to listen, okay? And the answer is going to be picture A, picture D, or picture E. Okay? So Hema,
A
this
D E.
ADE. Very good. So this one is very easy. So it says the next place you will need to look is the place where you can find a book. What is the answer?
Matches picture D.
Picture B? No, because
D
picture
D
B.
D D D.
D?
When I can find a book,
Yes.
picture D.
Okay, D. I hear you better now. Yes, very good. Picture D. And Hema, what's that called in English?
Call
Yeah, that place. How do you call it in English?
um a library.
Library. Very good.
Library.
Library. Very good. Let's go on with Felix. Felix, this is the next one. Now that you are fed, go and look for the clue where you laid your head. What's the answer?
I think the answer is E.
Very good, because you see all the children have their head laid on the bed or on the mattress. So they laid their head on the mattress. Very good. And that is actually a bedroom, but it's not a regular bedroom. It's a bedroom in a school. So we have the computer room, the music room, the library, and the bedroom. Finally, Viviana, this goes for you. It says, finding the next clue will be a treat. Look for it when you get something to eat. What is the matching? What is the answer?
The letter E. A.
A, very good. And how do you say that in English?
Restaurant.
No, it's inside a school. I mean, it could be a restaurant. Yeah, I mean, it could work, but there is a better word for that.
Mm, I don't know, teacher.
Okay, it's very easy. Repeat after me. Cafeteria.
Can repeat, please?
Sure. Cafeteria.
Okay.
Repeat that, please.
Cafeteria.
Cafeteria. Very good. So the difference is that in a restaurant you go, okay, a waiter, for example, goes to the table. You ask for food. So you have the waiter or the food runner who takes the food to the table, you eat, after that you pay. Cafeteria is a little bit different because you have to go to these parts, you have to make a row, and you have to get in line, and you have to select your food, choose your food. You don't have many options. At the end of the line, you pay. And if you don't want to buy food there, you can have your lunch box. Just sit there and eat, okay? And that is the cafeteria of a school. So that was very good. Let's go on. So guys, this is the second part of the warm-up because this part is going to be very focused or very related to today's topic, okay? So this is what we're going to do. We are going to read this tongue twister line by line. These are the clues. These are the riddles that I just said. So this is the tongue twister. So I want that, Hema, you're going to read the first sentence, the first one.
How much? How would a wood shoot?
Repeat after me. How much
How much
would
would
a woodchuck chuck?
a wood chat?
Now repeat after me. How much would a wood, sorry, how much would a woodchuck chuck?
How much would a wood wood
Don't worry. Yeah, it is a little bit hard sometimes. Yeah, don't worry.
Okay. How
Repeat
much?
after me. How much would a woodchuck chuck?
How much would the wood?
Don't worry.
How much would? No, perdón, no.
Try to do it a little bit slower.
Okay. How much would a wood chat?
A woodchuck chuck. Very good. Let's go on with Viviana. Say or read the second sentence.
If a woodchuck could chuck wood,
Very good. Say that a little bit faster.
if a woodchuck could chuck what? Wood.
Repeat after me. If a woodchuck could chuck wood.
If a woodchuck could chuck wood,
That is perfect. Very good. Let's go on. Felix, the next one. Next one.
He would chuck he would as much as he could.
Repeat after me, Felix. He would chuck. He would.
He would chuck he would
As much as he could.
as much as he could.
Now a little bit faster. He would chuck. He would as much as he could.
He he would chuck he would as much as he could.
That is very good. Very good. Let's go on with Hema. You again. So say the next line, please. Read the next line.
And shoot as much hoop as a hushat would.
Repeat after me. And chuck as much wood
And chuck as much wood
as a woodchuck would.
as a woodchuck would.
Now faster. And chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would.
And just as much wood as a woodchuck would.
That is very good. Give me 1 second. Okay, and finally, Viviana, the last line.
if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
That is perfect. If a woodchuck could chuck wood. So guys, I brought you this particular tongue twister because today we are to be very involved with the verb would. So I wanted to check your pronunciation basically. So remember, this, you don't have to pronounce the O and the L. You say just would. W-U did. Would. That is the correct pronunciation, okay? So that's the reason why I brought it. You did a very good job. I really would like to maybe bring more tongue twisters in other classes because I've seen that you are improving your pronunciation a lot when you do this. And they're very useful. So let's go on. So this is the previous knowledge that we have for today because we are going to approach, and Hema, I want you to know this, we are going to approach the conditional too, okay? So what we need to know to approach this topic is very, very easy. We need to know about the past simple of regular and irregular verbs, okay? And of course, how to form negative statements and interrogative statements in past simple, and of course, affirmative statements. And we need to know about the verb, the modal verb would. So this is very important. Last week, we learned about modal verbs. Would is another modal verb. So some of the general rules we learned about modal verbs, we have to use them with would. For example, we cannot ask the S sound after would, okay? And we have to use the verb in the base form. We cannot add, for example, we cannot add to, okay? Or we cannot add ing. It has to be the base form of the verb, just like this. And the base form, of course, is in present. Okay, so you need to remember a little bit about the rules of the modal verbs so you can use them with would. Okay, and don't worry that it's going to be very, very easy. So let's start. This is something that we already learned. We already learned about conditional zero, about first conditional, and today we are going to learn about second conditional. Maybe if we have the time, we will learn a little bit about the third conditional. But for example, I want that Felix, you are going to read this example about zero conditional.
Um, if it rains, the lawn gets wet.
Say that again, please.
If it rains,
If it
or
rains,
if it rains, the lawn gets wet.
very good. If it rains, the lawn gets wet. So let's remember something. What is the conditional zero about? When you use the zero conditional, it basically describes a universal fact, something that happens every time, a regular action. So every time that rains, the lawn gets wet, something that is true. Okay, that is the zero conditional about. Let's go with the first conditional. So, Hema, read this example, please.
Okay, tutor. If the children study hard,
Sorry, the
they will
children
get
study hard.
children. If the children study hard, they will get good grades.
They will get good grades. So this is in present simple and future simple. So why or when do we use the first conditional? It is very easy. We learned that the first conditional describes a specific future event. Okay, it's something that will happen in the future. So if the if clause happens, the consequence clause will happen. Okay, that happens but in the future. But today we are going to learn about second conditional, and we will see that the difference is very big. In the usage, it's very big because it's not something that is a universal true, or something that will surely happen in the future. It's very, very different. So we'll learn that. Okay, the usage is very easy. You use the past simple and the would do, but the I mean, the way you have to use it is very different. Okay, the usages are very different. So let's go on. So we are here, the second conditional, conditional two. So I want that Viviana, you are going to read this part, the main usage.
Second conditional. It describes an imaginary, impossible, or unlikely situation in the present or future.
That is very good, Viviana. Second conditional describes an imaginary, impossible, or unlikely situation in the present or the future. It means most probable that the situation is not going to happen because it's something we are imagining. It's something that is unlikely. So most probable is not going to happen. It could happen, yes, but there is a low, very low possibility that it would happen. It is very, very low. So the chance that we have that it happens is very low. Okay? And Felix, I want you to read this part.
The situation in the conditional clause is hypothetical. It is not real.
Very good. The situation in the conditional clause is hypothetical. It is not real. Okay? What it means? What is the conditional clause? This one. The if clause. This one. And here, this one. Okay? That is the conditional clause. What happens? The probability, okay, or something that is impossible, imaginary, unlikely, or hypothetical, that probability is about the if clause, the conditional clause. Okay, it's about the first action, and if this action happens, the second part, the result clause or the consequence clause would happen or will happen. Okay, so what is imaginary, impossible, or unlikely is the if clause. The if clause. But if the if clause happens to happen, the result clause would happen, will happen, or would happen. Okay, so I have some examples, and it's very easy. Don't worry. So let's start with Hema. You're going to read this example, please.
If saw
I saw.
my boss, if I saw my boss, I would speak to her.
I will speak to her. Very good. So, what is that unlikely? What is that unlikely that I see it? For example, Hema, imagine that your boss is not around, is not in town, is in a business trip. Okay? So, it is hypothetical because you are not going to see it. So you say, if I saw my boss, but that is unlikely. That is not going to happen. It's almost impossible because the boss is not around. So Gemma, I want you to translate that into Spanish, please.
Si hubiese visto a mi jefe.
No, quítale lo hubiese.
Pero lo traduzco literal. Si yo vi a mi jefe.
Okay, that is very good. That is very good. But let me tell you something, okay? Bueno, esto como, permítanme, a ver, déjenme pensar cómo se los voy a explicar. There is something that is called the subjunctive. En inglés hay algo que se llama subjunctive, que es como decir subjuntivo, ¿ok? Y hay dos formas de los verbos. En español, tú puedes decir, si yo vi a mi jefe o si yo viera a mi jefe, ¿ok? El que van a usar siempre es ese, si yo viera a mi jefe. Eso es un subjuntivo. Lo que sucede es que no hay diferencia. En el verbo to be sí hay una pequeña diferencia en inglés, pero en cuanto a los otros verbos se escriben igual, sea o no sea subjuntivo. En español sí cambia, pero en inglés no. Pero lo que sucede, Gemma, es que cuando, y bueno, esto va para todos los tres, cuando tú sabes que es un segundo condicional, entonces no lo traduces como vi, sino como viera. ¿Okay? Cuando no es segundo condicional, cuando no es second conditional, tú sí lo traduces como vi. Okay? So, Gemma, please translate that.
Si viera a mi jefe, le hablaría a ella.
That is perfect. If I saw my boss, I would speak to her. That is so good. Thank you. Viviana, read this one, please.
If she had some time, she'd visit her parents.
Very good. So let's remember something important. In this opportunity, you are seeing this. That is the contraction. This one is the contraction of the verb would. Okay? And every time you are going to use the contraction in the same way. Tell me.
I have a doubt.
A doubt, okay.
A doubt, sorry. When we use the contraction in past perfect, for example, I had been, the contraction is would be.
The contraction is the same. The contraction is the same. So, for example, let me show you. You can use this, okay, I'd, and it could mean I would, or I had. Sorry. Okay, it could mean that. It could be I would, or I had. So the contraction is the same, but there is a big difference. So, how do you know what is the verb? How do you know if you are seeing a would or a had contraction? It is very easy. When you see a had, after that, you will see a verb in past participle. When you see a would, after that, the verb is in the base form. Okay, let me tell you that in Spanish. Cuando ven la contracción, si no están seguros de si están hablando de would o de had, la diferencia es muy sencilla. Si después de la de tienen un verbo en forma base, como lo dice acá, quiere decir que están hablando de would, ¿ok? Pero si después de la de tienen un verbo en participio pasado, como en este caso visited, quiere decir que estamos hablando de had. Y eso es pasado perfecto, ¿ok? That is the difference. So they have the same contraction, but because of the verb that comes next, you will know the difference, ¿ok? Is that okay with you, Viviana?
Okay, teacher. Thank
Is
you.
that clear, right?
What?
¿Lo entendiste?
Yes, yes, teacher.
Okay, perfect. So, Viviana, do me a favor. Translate this for us.
Mm, the verb is in past.
This one, yes.
Visited. Visited.
Ah, okay, sorry. Yes, thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Um, si ella tuviera algo de tiempo, ella visitaría a sus familiares,
Padres.
a sus padres.
Familiares is relatives, okay? Parents means padres, okay? Viviana, the translation was very, very good. So remember, we could say ella tuvo, okay? But because it's second conditional, we use the subjunctives and we say the translation is ella tuviera. That was very good. So let's go on. This is something very important. So it's important that you remember that the if clause could be either the first or the second part of the sentence. So we can switch. We can use the if clause here, or we can use it here. So I want that, Felix, you are going to read this sentence for us.
Okay, I'd speak to my boss if I saw her.
Very good. And what is the translation, Felix?
Em, yo le hablaría a mi jefe si, si lo viera hoy, si la viera hoy.
Quítale el hoy.
Si la viera, sí.
That is perfect. So let's remember something. I'd speak to my boss if I saw her is the same, exactly the same meaning as if I saw my boss, I would speak to her. Is exactly the same. Okay? The thing is that you use here in this opportunity the condition clause at first, and here it is the second part of the sentence, but it is the same. Hema, I want you to read this one, please.
I trying to. I can see your screen.
You can't see her? Okay, you can see the screen. Felix, could you please deactivate the mic? Very good, thank you, Felix. Go ahead, Hema.
Yes. Okay. She would visit her parents if she had some time.
Some time. Very good. And what is the translation?
Ella visitaría a sus padres si tuviera tiempo.
Algo de tiempo. Very good. Very, very good translation. Thank you very much. So again, it is the same meaning. If she had some time, she'd visit her parents. Sorry, let me erase this. It is the same of she would visit her parents if she had some time. It is the same. So guys, we are going to continue with the practice, okay? So do you have any questions so far? Any questions at all?
Any question?
No? No questions?
No.
Okay. Okay, so let's go on. We are going to practice and you will see that it is very easy. Okay, this is the practice, but today is a little bit different. Today is going to be a little bit more challenging. Why? Because sometimes you see in this kind of exercise, when you have to complete something, you see that you have some options, okay? Or you see that you have some verbs inside a parenthesis. For example, right now you don't have any of that. What you're going to do is that you're going to read the context of the sentences, and you're going to use the verb that best matches there, that best works there in the gap, okay? And remember, when the if clause goes at the beginning, when the if clause goes at the beginning, you use past simple. So you use past simple here, and then you use would and the verb, okay? So remember, you're going to read the sentence and you're going to read the context, okay? And you're going to think about the verb that works better in the blank. So I'm going to give you 1 minute to check all of them. So you will have 1 minute to check all of them, and then we start. So you have 1 minute. Let me tell you that in Spanish real quick. Lo que les estaba explicando es que normalmente las actividades de completar, ustedes pueden ver que tienen opciones de respuesta o que aparecen los verbos en los paréntesis. En esta oportunidad, elimine esa opción, ¿ok? Lo que van a tener que hacer es ver los complementos de la oración y dependiendo del complemento, ustedes van mismos a proponer un verbo que ahí cuadre, que tenga sentido en ambas partes de la oración, en la conditional clause y en la consequence clause. ¿Ok? Entonces, tienen 1 minuto para que revisen los contenidos de las oraciones y después empezamos a proponer esos verbos, ¿vale? So go ahead. Okay, guys, who wants to give it a try with the first one? Who wants to try with the first one? I help you, don't worry. But who wants to try with the first one? Who wants to start?
If, teacher, tutor,
Okay, go ahead.
if I had more money,
Okay. Had. Okay. Go on.
I would be
Be. It's not be. It's very similar, but it's not be.
become
No. If you have money, what can you do with the money? You have the money, so you go and you. What do you do with the money, Gemma?
help or
No.
we
Buy. Yeah. Repeat after me. Buy.
buy
Read that again.
buy.
Please. Read that again.
If I have more money, I will buy a fancier soup.
Okay, repeat after me. If I had more money,
If I have more money,
I would buy a fancier SUV.
I would buy a fancier SUV.
Very good. Gemma, what is the meaning of an SUV? What is an SUV?
I don't have
You
idea.
don't know. Okay. And what about you, Viviana or Felix? What is an SUV?
Es una camioneta No me acuerdo si con Volco atrás, algo así.
Like this one, right?
Oh, okay. Yes,
Like that one.
uh, that is an SUV.
Very good. That is an SUV. Yeah, in Colombia we call it camioneta. Okay, but in English is an SUV. Okay, these ones are very popular in United States for people who has family, who has a kid, who have children. So if you're married and you have children, you will have one of these. If you are single, you will have a car, a sports car or a pickup or something else. But most families have this SUVs. So Hema, that is an SUV. Okay, did you get it? Did you understand?
Yes, tutor.
Okay, the translation, the literal translation is sports utilitarian vehicle. Okay, that is the real meaning. So, Hema, you did a very good job with the example. And Viviana or Felix, who wants to try the next one? It is very similar, but you have to use other verbs. So, who wants to go next?
Um,
Okay, Felix,
if
go ahead.
if I had lots of money,
Okay, Felix, sorry that I interrupt you. It's very good, but try to use another verb.
oh, if I, uh, um,
I know
if
that
I,
you know.
okay,
You just
okay,
need to
okay,
remember.
okay.
Go ahead.
If I earn lots of money,
Okay, if I earned lots of money,
um, I would have I would have a Lavitz sport car.
that is very good. Felix, one question. Okay, I want to challenge you. Okay, Felix, I would like that you use another word to say bye. Another word to say bye. What would you use?
Another um,
Yeah, another form or another verb to say bye
oh, teacher, I don't
instead of
remember
have.
that.
Okay, let me
Ah,
help you. Say, go ahead.
um,
I know that you know. You just need to
I
remember.
I would acquire. Oh, get.
Acquire, good. Okay, let me help you with this one. It starts with a P.
Gema tell me get.
Okay, get is also very good, but there is one that is more similar. It goes with a P and with a U.
Cool,
Who wants to help?
cool. Um, uh, um,
It's
buy
almost done.
get pick up
Again.
pick up.
Okay, you have this PURC. Finish
Ah,
it.
purchase teacher.
Repeat after me. Purchase.
Purchase.
That is very good. So please read the full sentence again.
If I earn if I earn lots of money, I purchase a Lavis sport car.
Repeat after me. I would purchase
I would purchase
a lavish sports car.
a Lavis sports car.
What is the meaning of lavish, Felix?
Um, lujoso, expensive.
Yeah. It is something that is fancy, okay, that is fancy, but is too fancy because it is very, very expensive. So it's something that is fancy in a very expensive way. That is perfect. Thank you very much, Felix. So, Viviana, let's go ahead with the next one. It is almost the same, but you have to use different vocabulary. Go ahead.
Um, if I was wealthy,
Again, say that again, please.
if I was wealthy,
Like that.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Very good. Go on.
Um, I would own,
I will what?
own, own, own
Own.
that,
Okay.
own. I would own a Ritzy pickup truck.
That is very good. A ritzy pickup truck. Very good. So, I want to tell you something, Viviana, Felix, and Gemma. And this is very, very important. This is a very big deal. So, pay very close attention. Okay? This is the thing. In this opportunity, Viviana, you did a very good job. You use was because we have the verb being past is was for singular and were for plural. But when you're using second conditional, the correct form of the verb be to be used with second conditional or conditional to is always were every single time. Okay? Why? Because if you use was, it is like uh, yo fui rico o millonario. But if you use were, it is yo fuera millonario, the subjunctive. So in this opportunity, when we talk about the verb be, we have to use always were when we are going to say second conditional sentences every time and for all pronouns in every case. Of course, if it is the speaking language or a speaking contest and it is an informal contest, people sometimes can say was, but the correct form is were, and it applies for second conditional. In other environments, in other topics, you are going to use was, but here in second conditional, we are going to use were. Okay? So,
Tutor,
Viviana, tell me,
you say that use were with whatever
with all the pronouns.
pronoun.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Lo que sucede es que esa regla es para condicional 2 y para otras situaciones hipotéticas. Entonces, cuando tú estés hablando del verbo be en inglés, en pasado, de situaciones hipotéticas, siempre tienes que usar were para todos los pronombres. ¿Ok? Por lo que yo les explicaba del subjuntivo. Si usamos was, nos queda yo fui millonario. Si usamos were, si nos queda yo fuera millonario. ¿Ok? Si yo fuera millonario. So in this opportunity, you have to use always were. So every time you're going to use the verb be in past with the second conditional or the conditional to, you are going to use were. So don't forget that. Lo que les decía
Okay.
es que en el lenguaje informal, de pronto en ocasiones puede que en una película o una canción escuchen la palabra was en el segundo condicional, pero es porque es informal y porque es un idioma hablado. Okay? But that is not the correct way. You always have to use were to do it correctly with the second conditional. So, Viviana, I want you to read the sentence again, please.
If I were wealthy, I would own a Ritzy pickup truck.
Very good. Repeat after me. If I were wealthy,
If I were wealthy,
I would own a ritzy pickup truck.
I would own a Ritzy pickup truck.
Very good. Viviana, what is the meaning of ritzy?
Ritzy is similar to luxurious.
To luxurious or to lavish, okay? It's very similar, but actually the words lavish and the word ritzy is a little too much. It's very, very fancy. It's very, very luxurious. It's a lot. It's a little too much. It's very expensive. It is kind of fancy in an unnecessary way. It's too fancy. Okay. And Hema, I have a question for you. What is a pickup truck?
I'm not sure.
Okay, let me show you. That is an SUV. This is a pickup truck. This one. Okay. All of them are pickup trucks. This one. So do you see a difference, right, Hema?
Yes.
Is what here in Colombia we call it camioneta de Platón. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Actually, for example, Renault has a pickup and they call him pickup, but you have to say pickup. Okay,
No.
pick up. You don't say pick up. Here in Colombia, people say pick up, but you have to say pick up. Okay, let's go on. So let's go on with Felix, the next one.
Okay. Um, if she called,
No.
um, if she use
No. It's more about remember is the number.
oh, if she number,
It's what?
eh, eso tiene que ver con marcar, ¿cierto?
No. It's more about the mind, Felix. It's more about the mind, the memory.
Oh, if she memorize daughter's phone number,
Say that again, please.
or if she
It's about the mind. Yeah, but
mind, if she,
it's not the word mind. It's about the mind, about the brain, about your memory.
oh, if she learned by her daughter's phone number,
Okay, let me help you. Start with okay, there could be different words. For example, if she remembered her daughter's phone number, or the other word is this one. Starts with a K.
okay, oh, if she not knew
Very good. If she knew, go ahead, go on.
her daughter's phone number,
Uh-huh.
she would call her.
Very good. Say that again, please.
If she knew her daughter's phone number, she would call her.
She will call her. Very, very good. Let's go on with Gemma. Next one.
Hmm.
So Gemma, imagine that, for example, yeah, go ahead. Imagine that you are in Bogota at the airport, okay, at the airport, and you see Juanes. You see it. So how do you say that when you are very close to him and you say hello to Juanes and you take a picture to him? What is that?
If we pass sauce
So,
so
okay, I was thinking about another word. How do you say conocer o encontrarse?
no
No,
meet
meet, and that in past
met.
met. Good. Go ahead. Go on.
If we met Juanes, we would ask
Very
his
good. Say the whole
auto.
sentence, please. Repeat after me. Autograph.
Autograph.
Autograph. Or you can say also autograph. Autograph.
Autograph.
So
Okay.
go in.
Autograph. If we met Juanes, we would ask his autograph.
Autograph. Very good. Very good. Viviana, you're next.
Oh my God. If we were the owner's children, we would eat there every day.
That is perfect. Very, very good. So the owner is basically the owner of a restaurant, or the owner of an ice cream shop, or the owner of dine or something to eat, something that is very tasty. So just to remind you, let's use this word, dine. So Viviana, could you please read the sentence?
Mm. If we were the owner's children, we would dine there every day.
That is perfect. If we were the owner's children, we would dine there every day because we are the owner's children, so we can practically live there. And Viviana, one short question: what is the meaning of dine?
Dine is similar to eat. Mm.
Eat what?
Dine is uh,
Okay,
the
okay. One question:
the
eat
food we do.
breakfast, eat lunch, or eat dinner?
And I can't listen.
Excuse me.
The
So
last food of the
the,
day.
say that again, please.
Teacher, I don't listen
Okay,
you
you couldn't
last
listen. Okay, I say that again. So dine could be having breakfast, having lunch, or having dinner. So what is the answer? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
having dinner.
Having dinner. Very good. Dine is the same as having dinner. Very good. Thank you very much. And let's go on with Felix, the last one.
Okay, if I were in your position,
Mhm.
um, I would ask revenge.
It's not ask. It's more like when
Mm,
you revenge by yourself. You do it by yourself. You don't ask someone else. You do it by yourself. So how
I,
do you say that? You
I must do.
again.
I I would take
Very good. Say that again.
revenge.
Say that again. The whole sentence.
If I were in your position, I would take revenge.
Very good. But in a previous class, I remember that we were talking about if the people should be passive or active or aggressive. So we are going to be a little bit more passive here. So let's do this. So say that again, Felix.
If I were in your position, I would not take revenge.
That is very good. Thank you very much. So, guys, you did a very good job. This was not an easy exercise because, as I told you, you didn't have the chance to see the options. So you did a very good job. So let's go on. We have a very similar exercise here, but it is a little bit different. In this opportunity, the result clause or the consequence clause is going to be at the beginning, and then we have the conditional clause. Okay, so let's start with Viviana. Okay, don't worry, guys. You have 1 minute to check the options, and then we start. You have 1 minute. And if anyone knows the answer of the first or knows how to complete the first sentence, please let me know. So guys, who wants to start? Who has the answer or the options for the first sentence?
Me, teacher.
Okay, go ahead, Viviana.
Um, if I would have,
Sorry, Viviana, remember, the if is the second part. You start with would.
sorry, I would have
I would have.
better grades if I dedicated more time to study.
That is very good. Say that again.
I would have better grades if I dedicated more time to study.
That is perfect. Thank you very much. But let's remember something. So let's remember that we are talking about imaginary, impossible, or unlikely situations. So what is the meaning of that? It means that the person who thinks that could dedicate it or could dedicate more time to study, it is more probable that that person is not going to dedicate more time to study. That is a hypothetical situation. So if the person is saying this in the second conditional, it means that the person probably won't do that, won't study too hard. Okay, so very good, Viviana. Let's go on. Who wants to go next?
I will pay. I don't know
Good.
how to say pay in past.
In past?
Ah, okay, no, no, no. I will pay all my loans if I um won the lottery.
That is perfect. Very, very, very good, Hema. That is perfect. I would pay all my loans if I won the lottery. Very good. I have one question for you guys. How do you say when you finish paying the loans? For example, you are paying for your house and you are about to pay the last bill and you finish paying your house. How do you say that? It's a phrasal verb with pay. Pay what? Viviana, Hema, and Felix. How do you say that in English? How do you say when you finish to pay something? The last bill, the last payment.
No, teacher, no.
And what about you, Felix or Viviana? How do you say that in English? For example, okay, let's imagine that you bought a TV for your house, a very big one, a smart TV, and you're paying the TV month by month. And in December, you have to pay the last bill or the last payment. And it is done. The TV is yours. How do you say cuando pagas algo, pero lo pagas por completo? Pagaste ya toda la deuda. How do you say that in English? It's a phrasal verb. Pay what?
Praise Albert, I don't know. I I I wonder is canceled. I don't know.
Okay, cancelled. But no, it is not cancelled because it's something that you have to pay. Cancels means when you stop. Okay? When you, yeah, cancel, I mean, the problem is that el problema es que en Colombia se usa la palabra cancelar para decir pagar. It's a huge mistake. We shouldn't do that. Nosotros no deberíamos hacer eso porque en otros países no nos entienden cuando decimos, como cuando alguien dice, oye, ya te cancelo, pero significa ya te pago. We shouldn't do that. And in English, we cannot use cancel to talk about payments. So the verb, guys, is, repeat after me, Felix, pay off.
Pay off.
Pay off. Very good. And Hema, could you please read the sentence now?
Okay, I will pay off. I I will pay off all my loans if I won the lottery.
Very good. So pay off means that you are paying off all your loans. You don't have any more debt. Very, very good, Hema. So let's go on. Let's go on with, give me one second. Felix, go ahead.
Okay, they would not feel sick
That is perfect.
if they if they drunk clean
Drank.
water.
Repeat after me. Drank.
If they drank, if they drank clean water.
Drank. Uh-huh. Very good. They would not feel sick if they drank clean water. Very good. Viviana, the next one is also negative.
Mm, she would not mm, looking um, mm, she would not be looking for another job if
Mhm.
she just were happy there.
That is perfect. So this is a would do plus a continuous tense, ¿ok? Plus a present participle verb. Es como la suma de un modal con un tiempo progresivo. Okay, so you can use that. She would not be looking for another job if she just were happy there. Were other at her current job. Very good. Emma, let's go on with you.
I would have
Up. Okay.
mm, or give no
No, you cannot say give. Repeat after me. Throw.
throw.
Throw, yeah. You never, 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 ever say give. You have to say throw. Okay? If you, I mean, when you want to mean give, you say throw. Cuando quieras decir dar una fiesta, you say throw. Okay? You
Ah,
can
okay.
use have, you can use throw, you can use something like that. But most probably, yeah, use throw or organize or something like that. So go ahead, go on.
Okay, I will throw a big party if I had
No.
mm,
Keep something in mind.
no
Promote
no
it with an
I
adjective.
if I were
Good. Very good. If I were. Read the full sentence, please.
okay, I will throw a big party if I were promoted to regional
Promote it.
manager.
Promote it
Promoted to regional manager.
to regional manager. Very good. That
Regional.
is perfect. Thank you very much. And Felix, the next one.
Um, Mike would would travel by train if he arrived in New York, or
No.
I don't know what the
You have to
word.
Okay.
you have to consider the word in. In.
If he um, li- if he live, excuse me, if he live in New York. Yes, teacher.
Repeat after me. If he lived
If he lived New
in New
York.
York. So, Felix, And this goes for everyone. I'm remembering something right now. There is a verb that is not very common, and I want you to learn. So I want to add it. It is like this. Commute. So, Felix, read this,
Commute.
please.
Oh,
Yeah, commute.
my,
Read that.
Mike would commute by train if he lived in New York.
Very good. Mike would commute by train if he lived in New York. So, Felix, according to the context, what is the meaning of commute?
Eh, Sería estar, llegar,
It's very similar to travel.
cambiar, se
Okay,
cambiaría,
that is very good. So,
se mudaría.
yeah, I mean, that is an option. But Felix, commute is more similar to travel. Okay, to travel. It is very similar to travel. What is the difference? Commute is when you have to travel over and over and over again every day and normally between home and work. Okay, for example, if I live if I lived in a city or in a town outside of Bogota and I had to commute every day from my little town to the downtown in Bogota. Every day after, at the end of the day, from the downtown in Bogota to my little town. And I do that every single day. That is commute. When you travel, when you make the same journey every single day. ¿Ok? That is commute. Cuando tú haces la misma travesía todos los días. ¿Ok? That is commute. Es como viajar de forma corta todos los días. Okay, and in New York there is a very good subway system. So if you take the subway or the train in New York, you will arrive very fast and it's very cheap actually. So it is better than taking a cab or having a car. So that is very good, and that is the meaning of commute. And let's go with Viviana, the last one. Viviana.
Sorry, teacher, the signal is bad.
Okay,
Um,
I understand, don't worry. The last one, please.
the last one, I would make,
I
I
would
would
what?
make it,
Excuse me?
I would make it differently
Okay.
if I had the chance to do it again.
It's very good. I would make it different if I had the chance to do it again. But let's remember something again. In this opportunity, when you say I had, when Felix said he lived, when Gemma said I were promoted, remember that these are hypothetical situations, but unlikely hypothetical situations. So most probably this person is not going to be promoted, this person is not going to live in New York, and this person is not going to have the chance again. So let's remember something very important. Even though we are talking about the simple past or we're using the simple past structure, we are not talking about the past. Okay? That is very important that you remember. So the past tense indicates a distance from the reality. It is not indicating the past tense. Okay? It indicates that we are very far from reality. I'm going to tell you that in Spanish. En el segundo condicional, aunque usamos el tiempo pasado simple, nunca estamos hablando en pasado. Eso es algo que siempre tienen que recordar. Jamás hablamos en pasado, aunque usamos el pasado simple. Se usa el pasado porque el pasado nos indica, como yo les acabo de decir, como que there is a very long distance from reality. Cuando usamos el pasado simple en la if clause, implica que hay una distancia lejana entre la realidad, entre lo que es y no es real. Entonces, al usar pasado simple, estamos de alguna manera diciendo que estamos lejos de la realidad, que está lejos de ser algo probable o real. ¿Ok? So, usamos el pasado simple aquí para decir que algo es hipotético, poco probable, imposible o imaginario. ¿Ok? So, remember, even though we use past simple, we are not talking about the past. Aunque usamos el tiempo pasado simple en el condicional 2, no estamos y nunca lo usamos para hablar acerca del pasado. Normalmente lo usamos para hablar, en este caso, del presente o más comúnmente del futuro. Because if the situation happens, will happen in the future. Porque si la situación se dará en el futuro. For example, if you say, if I won the lottery, if I won the lottery, I would buy a new car. Cuando dicen si yo ganara la lotería, aunque lo dicen en pasado, ¿cuándo se pueden ganar la lotería si es que pasa en el futuro? Okay, so just remember that. We are talking about the past, we are using the past tense, but we are not talking about the past. So you did a very good job here and here. So let's go to the final part, the production. So in this opportunity, give me 1 second. In this opportunity, this is what you're going to do. You are going to tell me one question, okay? But you're going to tell me one question that is very, very interesting. That is very interesting to ask, and it is very interesting to answer. So I give you these pictures. So you can, for example, ask the second conditional question. If someone were rich, like this guy, like the duck here, if someone could travel around the world, if someone were a singer or could sing, if someone were an animal, or if someone had 3 wishes. Okay? So, Viviana, Gemma, and Felix, you are going to think, you are going to imagine a hypothetical situation, and you are going to ask me a question with the hypothetical situation. Okay? So go ahead. You have a couple of minutes to give me the question, and if you have it, let me know. It have to be a question with what, okay? You can use the if clause at the beginning or at the second part, but it has what, this, or this way, okay? Let me give you an example. Les voy a dar un ejemplo de una posible pregunta con las imágenes. For example, this one. You see the night, right? It is at night. So, for example, what it occurs to me right now is, for example, this. What you do if you slept only hour a day? What do you do at night? Okay, this is my question, and this is a hypothetical situation. So what would you do at night if you slept only 1 hour a day? ¿Qué harías en la noche si tú solo durmieras 1 hora al día? And not because you can't sleep, it's because you don't want to sleep or because you don't have the need to sleep. Es porque no tiene la necesidad de dormir más de 1 hora. So what would you do at night? ¿Qué harían durante la noche si no les diera sueño? That is one hypothetical situation. So go ahead. Let me know when you have your question. Could be about being rich, traveling, being a singer. Imagínense que son un cantante. ¿Qué harían en ese caso hipotético? Una cantante famosa. If you were an animal. ¿Qué animal les gustaría ser si fueran un animal? Or if you had 3 wishes. O si tuvieran 3 deseos. Go ahead. So guys, who has the first question? Who has a question?
For example, the first question would be, uh, if you were MacPato,
Uh,
what would you do?
Excuse me? Say that again, please.
If you were
Yeah.
MacPato, I don't know
Okay.
the name of this character. If you were MacPato, what would you do?
Ah, okay. I get it now. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But if you were, let me try to remember, Felix. Okay. If you were, I think the name is Scrooge. A duck. 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 Like this. If you were Scrooge McDuck, that again, Felix. What?
What would you do?
What would you
Do.
Hey, it means if you were Scrooge McDuck, it means that if you had a lot of money. But that is a very good question, Felix. So what would you do if you had the ton of money that Scrooge McDuck has? Very good question, Felix. What about you, Viviana? Viviana,
Sorry, teacher. The
tell me your.
sounds
Excuse me, tell me.
come late.
Ah, okay, sorry. I'm so sorry for that. Maybe we have some interference tonight. I don't know. The connection is not great tonight, maybe. But don't worry. What is your question, Viviana?
Um, what would you do if you were a famous singer?
Okay, very good. What would you do if you were a famous singer? That is a very good question. Thank you, Viviana. And Hema, tell me your question.
Tutor, my question is,
Mhm.
uh, if you were a singer,
Oh,
what
sorry, Hema.
genre?
We already have a question about the singer.
Okay.
So you have to make a question about traveling, for example. Or this one is very nice. I would like for you to ask this. A question about the wishes, about the genie in a bottle. So
Okay.
imagine that you had the wishes.
If you had three wishes,
Good. Three wishes.
what would you wish? Oh, what would be it? Or no, I don't know.
What would you
No. What would it be? No.
I don't get it, sorry.
What would it eat? The wishes.
Ah, okay,
What?
got it, got
What?
it, got it. Why would they be
Yes.
like that? If you had three wishes, what would they be? Si tuvieras tres deseos, ¿qué serían?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. So, very, very good. Very interesting question. So we have the first one. What would you do at night if you slept only 1 hour a day? If you were Scrooge McDuck, that means being very rich. What would you do? Okay, let me just this is very nice, but if you were wealthy, okay, if you were wealthy, what would you do? What would you do if you were a famous singer? And if you had three wishes, what would they be? Okay, very good. So let's start with Felix. Felix, I want you to pick between Hema and Viviana, one of your classmates, and you are going to ask your question to one of them.
Okay. Gemma, uh, what would you do if you were a famous singer, for example?
Okay, sorry, Felix. The
Ah,
idea that you ask her your own question.
my own question. Okay.
Yes, please.
Um, okay, I don't see the
Oh,
question, but
yeah, sorry. If you were, okay, go ahead. It's this one.
no, no problem, teacher. I have the question. What would you, if you were Scrooge McDuck?
Okay, Felix, that
eh,
is very good, but I change it a little bit. So read this one.
Okay, if you were Scrooge McDuck, uh,
No.
Felix, do you see the screen? ¿Ves la pantalla?
yes, teacher.
Okay, you see this part, the word wealthy.
Yes.
Okay, read it with the word wealthy, okay? So we can use Scrooge McDuck, that is correct, but let's use the word wealthy, okay? Because it's more general. So go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. Yes, teacher, I understand. Um, if you
I
were
mean,
well,
sorry that I interrupt, Felix. I mean, in that case, if we say Scrooge McDuck, we could say like, for example, what would you do if you were Tony Stark because he's rich? What would you do if you were Bruce Wayne, Batman? He's super rich, or Scrooge McDuck. But let's just say wealthy, okay? Because it's more general. So go ahead.
okay, Gemma, if you were wealthy, what would you do?
Very good, Hema. Go ahead.
Phyllis, if I were wealthy, I would buy um a big house for my mother, and I would travel um, around the world.
Very good, Hema. That is a perfect answer. That was very good and very interesting. I would buy a house to my mom and I would travel around the world. That is very good, actually. A lot of people would like to be wealthy to travel, even me. So let's go on. Hema, you're going to ask your question to Viviana. Go ahead.
Okay. Viviana, if you have three wishes, what would they be?
Mhm.
Mm, if I have three wishes, I would eat without gaining weight. Um, mm,
Viviana, sorry. Say this
I
part, say
would
the last part again. If I had three wishes, say the next part again.
I would eat
Ah,
without gaining weight.
okay, good, very good. Go on.
Um, more mm, no. Uh, um, Other wish can be
Viviana, let me help you.
a lot of money.
Let me change the question here. What would they be? What would you do? Okay. So Hema, read the question again. It's a little bit different. Go ahead, read
Okay.
it again, and Viviana is going to answer.
Viviana, if you have three wishes, what will you do?
Mhm.
If I had three wishes, I would travel to Japan.
Mhm.
I would eat um, Indian food and exotic dishes, and I would um, met Hollywood.
What is the last one? You would? The last one.
I would meet meet or know Hollywood.
I don't get it. What is the last word?
Hollywood, Los
Ah,
Angeles, Hollywood.
Hollywood. You would visit Hollywood.
Yes,
Okay,
visit.
you would visit Hollywood. So you would go, you would travel to Japan, you would eat Indian food, and you would visit Hollywood. That is very interesting. Very, very good. Thank you very much. So we already know your three wishes, Viviana. And Viviana, finally, you are going to ask your question to Felix.
Felix, what would you do if you were a famous singer?
Okay, if I were a famous singer, I would travel uh, through through 80 countries, and I would sing
You would
in
sing. Sorry, you would sing.
what
You would
I would
you would
sing
sing. No, you
uh,
would sing.
and I would sing
Uh-huh.
uh, in the shower.
But okay, but you don't need to be a famous singer to sing in the shower. Uh, okay, Felix, let me ask you this: Where would you like where would you like to sing if you were a famous singer? Where? In any part of the world, where would you like to sing if you were a famous singer?
Where would you like if you were a famous singer?
Uh-huh. Where you like to sing? To sing.
Oh, okay. If I if I were a famous singer, I would like to sing.
Uh-huh.
Um, I
In
don't know, teacher.
Tell me one city around the world, just one place.
In
For example, let me tell you mine. If I were a famous singer, maybe I would like to sing, I don't know, maybe in Rome or in Venice or maybe in a place in Italy because I don't know, I really would like to know that country and I've heard that it has very interesting sites and like squares or some places to sing. So for you, if you were a famous singer, where would you like to sing? Where?
if, if I were a if I were a famous singer, I would like to sing in in Italia, in United
In
States,
Italy, United States. Okay.
and
Okay.
Canada, for example.
Yeah, very, very good. So thank you, Felix, for sharing that information. So Viviana, Gemma, and Felix, I think that we are done for tonight. You did an amazing job. Actually, your response was very good. You did it so, so great. Actually, we finished before that it was scheduled. So I think that you have learned a lot. You just maybe just need to practice a little bit so you never forget the topic. So I want to ask you, do you have any questions?
No, teacher.
Okay. So let me tell you something about the homework. The homework is going to be very easy. I'm going to send you through Skype three questions. ask the questions or very similar to the questions you just asked before. So I'm going to send you the 3 questions and you're going to answer them on Skype before the next class. Okay, so I'm going to send you the questions right away through Skype and you will answer them Thursday before Thursday at 8 p.m. Okay, so it's very nice for me to be here with you. I really hope you have learned a lot and have a good evening. Goodbye.
Bye, tutor. Thank you.
Goodbye, teacher.
Bye,
Goodbye,
teacher.
classmates.
Goodbye, guys.
Bye, classmates.